Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and I am so excited to be celebrating 10 years of meaningful conversations with you. As we step into our new primetime hour, it's such an honor to share this exciting new chapter with you. So whether you're starting your day out, headed to work, or listening from wherever you are, this hour is designed to bring you thoughtful dialogue, fresh insight, and inspiring stories so you can make every moment count. So thank you for being here with me today, and let's dive in. We're here today with special guest, Holly Sullivan, who's here to share with us Amazon's 2025 U.S. Economic Impact Report. So what does Amazon's $340 billion investment really mean for jobs, local communities, and the future of AI across America? New state-level data from Amazon's 2025 U.S. Economic Impact Report highlights a company's growing role in the U.S. economy as conversations around jobs, affordability, economic growth, and AI innovation continue to dominate the headlines. The company says it's invested more than $340 billion in the U.S. last year alone and more than $1.8 trillion since 2010, supporting roughly 2 million jobs nationwide. So welcome to the show, Vice President of World Economic Development Policy at Amazon, Holly Sullivan.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
My goodness, what an honor it is to have you here and to talk about this. I cannot wait to dive in. So let's start with big picture. What kind of impact is Amazon having on the overall U.S. economy?
Well, in 2025 alone, we invested over $340 billion in the U.S. economy. That's our largest investment to date as a company. And since 2010, we've invested $1.8 trillion in the U.S. economy. And that includes compensation, infrastructure, and our capital investments.
Well, that's quite an impact. And so let's bring this a little bit closer to home. So what does that investment look like here in California?
Well, California has been a great state for us. We have many customers, and it's, continued to be an opportunity for us to invest. So since 2010, we've invested $240 billion. In the Inland Empire alone, that's $40 billion invested also since 2010. We have over 150,000 full and part-time employees throughout California.
My goodness, that is quite substantial. And so how is Amazon measuring long-term success when it comes to economic development in the communities where it operates?
Well, all of our investments are long-term investments. When we're looking at where we want to locate, whether it be a corporate office or a fulfillment center, we want to work with that local community, understand where the best locations are, and make those long-term investments. At the end of the day, our employees are also the residents of this community. So how we invest, where we invest, and when we invest are super critical.
So let's dive into the report itself. What role does small businesses and independent businesses play within Amazon's ecosystem?
It's critical to Amazon. Over 60% of our sellers, when you go on Amazon.com, are those small and medium-sized businesses. So when you think about walking down Main Street and seeing one of your local stores or hardware store, they're not only selling on Main Street, they're also selling on Amazon, which gives them a global opportunity to showcase their products. We also have a lot of local artisans on Amazon too. So it truly is a place where we want to deliver for our customers, great selection, competitive prices, and be able to have that consistency to deliver to their home or office.
So how does Amazon invest in small businesses?
We have many different ways we invest in small businesses. One is we have obviously ability to sell on Amazon.com. We also have a lot of different training programs to teach that customer on how they can showcase their product globally. We also have a new program called our Hub Delivery Program, where for example, a local florist can partner with us to help on those deliveries too.
Oh my goodness, you guys are thinking of everything there. So what are 5 ways that Amazon's making an impact in the U.S. communities?
Several ways. First, let me kind of back up. We did a study from Oxford Economics, and it was a fascinating study that really talks about what happens to a community 5 years after Amazon opens a fulfillment center. So beyond the over 1,000 jobs, direct jobs that we provide, beyond the indirect jobs that we also provide, we've found that it increases local wages. It decreases the number of people on Medicaid. And then it has that ripple impact of providing those indirect jobs too, whether that be in professional services, hospitality, construction. So it's not just about when Amazon comes to town of those direct jobs. It's that ripple impact that we find lifts up the communities. In addition to that, we have our community engagement programs. So that might be us partnering or investing in local nonprofits, Boys and Girls Club, Junior Achievement, and education programs in K through 12, and we also have our Career Choice program for hourly employees that offers prepaid tuition to in-demand careers in their community.
I found that so fascinating that Amazon's really diving into these skill training goals. Can you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Our Career Choice program has been around for quite some time. It is a great program for those hourly associates to be able to, whether it be a nursing degree or a CDL license or, electrician. And we believe it's a great way to not only invest in the future of our employees, but also the future of that local community and create those career pathways for everyone.
Well, the fact that Amazon is investing resources and time into making sure that people have the ability to further their education for skilled jobs, I found to be just so amazing. And earlier you mentioned nonprofits. So can you dive into the work that Amazon's doing with nonprofits?
Absolutely. I'll kind of focus on California. We've donated over $35 million to 300 local community organizations, which includes, over 10 million meals delivered, and 10,000 employees. We have volunteering months at Amazon. So we really like to not only be a part of the nonprofit community, but get our employees engaged too. So we've had 10,000 employees engaged in that. And of course, we wanted to partner after the devastating wildfire and be part of the recovery effort. So we also donated over $500,000 in disaster relief items contributed to support the LA region.
Well, I'm sure everyone really appreciates that because that was such a devastating fire. One of the things I want to toggle over to is the discussion of AI. It's such a big part of the conversation right now. How is that shaping investment and opportunity in communities?
AI, it's a rapidly growing technology, and it's one that we obviously are heavily investing in. And when we think about AI, it's another tool. It's another tool, whether it be creating a safe workplace environment. So we're using some of our robotics within our fulfillment centers so the employee's not doing those repetitive motions. So we're heavily investing in the safety of our employees too through our AI. We're also using it to create better efficiency. As an example, we write a lot of documents within the company, and one of the ways I'm using AI is to help make sure that I'm getting the right tone of my document. And so, again, we're early users of AI, but we're continuing to invest in it. I think it's an important tool for us to have.
I think we all use AI for tones and documents.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh my goodness. So how is Amazon supporting growth in rural and smaller communities?
Yes, so we always work backwards from our customer. And one of the things that we realized is When you're living in a large metro area, suburban community, you're generally going to get your Amazon packages in 2 days or less. That wasn't holding the same for our rural customers. So we are investing $4 billion in our rural investment for our delivery, our last mile delivery facilities. And we're going to open over 200 new facilities by the end of this year in 2026. And what that's going to do is increase the shipping speeds for our rural customers by 50%, so that most of those customers will be able to get their essential items within 2 days or less.
That is so important. And what do these investments mean, not just locally, but also on a national economic scale moving forward?
Yeah, so it's, each of these facilities is going to employ around 100 to 150 employees. And then when you look at those $4 billion, that is our national investment, but that's also going to bring investment to those local communities. And it creates that opportunity for our customers to be able to get those essential items. So when you think about, when I remember when my daughter was born and just having to get in my car, put her in the car seat, go and get those diapers. Now those diapers, that baby formula is delivered right to that doorstep.
My goodness, Holly, there's so much great information coming from Amazon. Where can people go to learn more?
Well, thank you for asking. They can find all this information, not only about California, but our national economic impact on aboutamazon.com.
Well, Holly, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you. Have a great day, California.
Well, thank you, Holly. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about Amazon's 2025 U.S. Economic Impact Report. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You're listening to Moments with Mary Ann, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Mary Ann is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Mary Ann will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever.